What's going on, guys? Alex back at you here with another episode of Let's Look At. This episode might be a touch longer than general just because I want to do a little more talking about the product than maybe I usually do. So let's just go ahead and kick it off right now just so we don't make this thing go for like half an hour. So today we're going to be talking about the JT Impulse. So basically, I just want to give you guys a quick rundown of what I think about the marker itself, and a little bit of what's going on currently with the JT Impulse as far as like news-wise goes and stuff like that. The JT Impulse has been out for about 2 years now. I personally shot one of these through all of last season. I thoroughly enjoyed this gun. I loved having this gun, and I only recently traded it away due to the fact that my team is going to be shooting Eclipse next year. So yeah, I really enjoyed everything about this gun. So before we start getting into the details, let's just talk a little bit about basically what's going on with the Impulse as far as it existing. So the Impulse, basically, if you don't know, just quick history, the Impulse has been around for a very, very long time. The Impulse name started originally with Smart Parts way back when, and has kind of, obviously since Smart Parts went away, the Impulse name went away for a little while and was recently resurrected by, depending on who you talk to, they may or may not know the actual full story behind the Impulse. It, up until this point, is currently being distributed and sold through Key Action Sports under the JT Paintball name. However, the Impulse is being produced and manufactured by GOG Paintball and designed by GOG and DLX. GOG and DLX are entered into a business partnership, basically for the long haul. They are two separate companies. They are just in a strategic partnership as far as business stuff goes. And basically, between the two of them, they completely designed and manufactured this marker, and it is being sold by, it's just third-party outsourced, being sold by Key Action Sports under the JT Paintball name. There's a lot of guesses and, people just trying to come up with a reason they think why it went down like that. Nobody is honestly quite sure because nobody has really talked about it. Realistically, I think they just wanted to get it out there and be sold and marketed by a much larger company, just maybe because they thought sales would be better, the marker would do better. However, that failed outrageously. It did not go well at all. Key Action Sports completely failed to market or make light of this marker even existing in the first place. They did an absolutely terrible job of just telling people it existed and telling people it was a fantastic gun. The biggest mistake I think they made is putting the JT name on it. The JT name has been around obviously for a very, very long time. It is still prominent with the ProFlex and the soft goods like jerseys and pants that they make. However, everybody kind of has an understanding at this point in today's day and age that anything else besides basically the ProFlex and jerseys and pants that has the JT name on it is big box store brand, Walmart brand, Dick's Sporting Goods brand. It's just epically low quality anything. So I think they made a massive mistake by putting the JT brand on it. I think it could not have gone worse for this marker. I think if they had put Empire on it, I think it would have done fine. But as of this date, and today is Tuesday, November 25th, so just before Thanksgiving, Empire has discontinued sales of the JT Impulse. However, that doesn't mean it's completely going away. As far as we understand, talking to GOG Paintball and some contacts over at DLX, it seems like GOG is going to restart the distribution of the Impulse marker. So it will no longer be available from Empire or Key Action Sports or JT, and definitely not under the JT brand name. However, it will be available through GOG Paintball under the GOG Paintball name. So that's as much as the information as I know. It is semi-speculative at this point as to whether what's actually going to happen, but it seems from everything that I've heard and the people that I've talked to, that seems like that is what is going to happen. So if you do have an impulse, don't worry. You'll be able to deal with GOG and DLX, and they'll be able to help you out with any problems or concerns you might have about your impulse. And if you're looking to pick one up, and everybody's out of the JT Impulse, you'll be able to get one through GOG Paintball very, very soon. So let's just go ahead and start talking about the marker here. It's got a lot of features and everything that come out of DLX. It's certainly really easy to see right off the bat. The OLED board right there on the back, that's the same OLED board that comes on a Lux OLED. The trigger assembly is held in place the same way Lux triggers are held in Luxes. There are 2 screws that go in on either side of the frame right here that just basically push in and pinch the trigger on the ball bearings between them. It makes for a really, really smooth, crisp, snappy trigger that I love. I absolutely love the trigger on this gun. Last year we were playing in semi, we were not playing in PSP, and this is a phenomenal trigger to shoot in semi-auto. It's so fast, it's so responsive, it feels really, really well for the way that I shoot, and I shoot with the insides of my fingers. It just matched me really, really perfectly, and I really, really enjoyed it. Other than that, the Impulse itself is a balanced valve marker. Basically that means take like an Ego 11, that is an unbalanced poppet. So what's going on is, just like any Ego, you've got your the valve and the poppet assembly and everything sitting right in here. And on a standard Stack 2 poppet, you've got all that pressure sitting here on this side of the valve that is going to be used to go out and fire the paintball. And there's basically no pressure on this side of the valve, so the LPR, the secondary LPR that's right here, has to pump a lot of pressure to the backside of this rammer and really slam it forward to open up that valve because all the pressure is on this side. And so basically what they did with the Impulse is they did something with opposing facing pistons and all kinds of weird stuff to make it so that there's almost an equal amount of pressure on both sides of this valve. So when the secondary regulator has to punch that rammer forward to open up that valve, it only has to do so with a very, very small amount of pressure. And what that does is it makes it extremely smooth to shoot. This gun is hands down smoother than any Ego, minus the LV1, by far. And a darted Ego 11 is probably one of the smoothest Egos I can think of besides the LV1. And I think this thing is smoother than that. It was a real joy for me to shoot this thing all last season. Other than that, Delrin bolt, very standard, nothing special about the bolt. It works fine. Nice cup face up front. The barrel it's just your average stock barrel. It is a 2-piece barrel. However, nothing I have found is compatible with these threads. Freak parts are not compatible with these threads. Obviously, Eclipse or die threads are not, die barrel parts are not compatible with this. So I'm really not sure as to why they chose to do that. It seems to me on the inside of the soft case with the Impulse, which I don't have up here, but basically on the inside of the soft case, there's 2 little loops for these 2 barrel pieces. However, right up next to it, there are 3 loops, which are exactly the right size for freak inserts, sitting here that are completely empty. My thought was the initial plan was to release this with a freak barrel, because the original price when these came out was $10.50. So yeah, that was my thought, is that they originally intended for this marker to release with a freak barrel. For some reason they decided not to, but they already had the soft cases produced for the markers. I'm not going to change the soft case, just get rid of 3 little elastic loops. I think I remember someone randomly speculating that, well, they were just anticipating you buying a freak barrel for it and having extra No, nobody does that. Planet Eclipse has a case and it has a bunch of inserts, open spaces that are exactly the same size for shaft 4 tips and backs, because they anticipate you buying shaft 4 tips and backs for your ego. They don't anticipate you going, and they're not putting that in there for the perfect fitment for freak pieces. That was in there, I almost guarantee it, that was in there because they plan to make and have this gun come with a freak barrel stock. Why they chose not to, I don't know. I think it was a poor choice. There's nothing wrong with this stock barrel. I only shot mine with the stock barrel one time. Other than that, I shot a carbon fiber boomstick on my Impulse every time. There's nothing wrong with it. The one time I did shoot it, it shot fine. However, it is your basic large bore stock barrel, which we can actually go ahead here and get the exact size on, just so you guys know exactly how big it is. So if we take that barrel back with my electronic calipers, 0.690 and a half. So 690 and a half for the stock back on the JT Impulse. It's your basic stock barrel back size. It's definitely nothing to write home about. The polishing and the honing on the inside is really, really nice. Definitely no complaints there. So if you're shooting bigger paint, stock barrel might work fine for you. Other than that, I definitely, a lot of the paint around here is 685 and even smaller, so I definitely had to go with something else. But if you're shooting bigger paint or you're shooting cheap paint, I don't see that. I don't think you would have a problem with it. All right, sorry about that quick cut, guys. My camera decided it wasn't going to record anymore. So yeah, there's if you're shooting big bore paint or something like that, with the honing and polishing on the inside of this barrel, I'm sure you'd probably be just fine. Other than that, you definitely probably want to explore other options. Like I said, I shot mine with the carbon fiber boomstick. A freak system would probably be pretty solid in here as well. Obviously, these are autococker threaded, so you can put basically anything on there. There's really not too much else to go over with this thing. I mean, we kind of covered everything that really needs to be covered. They're really great shooting guns. The frame is really, really great. It feels like a Diul frame with the way the grips and the palm swell and everything. Feels really, really great in the hands. It shoots really, really smoothly. For a poppet, that's awesome for me. It was really definitely one of the biggest things that led me into buying this. So other than that, really, I only want to do one more thing before we wrap up here. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it on a scale and weigh it. As you saw before, there is a battery in there. So it is the complete weight of an all-stock JT Impulse. I'm going to go ahead and put this on pounds. So if we go ahead and weigh it, we got 1 pound, 14.9 ounces. And every time I move, it shifts to 15 ounces, but all right, 1 pound, 14.9 ounces. Pretty damn light gun, as far as I know. Just under 2 pounds is really, really solid. Definitely lighter than the LV1 or anything like that. Yeah, I just, all around this is just a fantastic shooting gun. They're available if you can get the JT version of these. They're currently available for $600. Hopefully soon we'll be able to get the GOG version of the same gun. I don't think they're changing anything as far as I understand. I highly encourage anyone that's looking to pick up one of these guns to just go ahead and do it. Just amazing little shooting guns. So that's really all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or anything like that, obviously leave them down in the comment section below. But other than that, if you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you go ahead and click that like button. It really helps out the channel a lot. And that's all I got for you guys. So I will see you guys next time.